Greetings, family. Peace and love to you and yours. This is Guru, and thanks for visiting my channel. Family, this video is about a cable news that's been almost silent on these neo-Nazis who attempted to murder counter-protesters. I'm not going to read it as the headline reads because, of course, you know, in the original headlines of lamestream media, they used words like allegedly, when we know, in fact, that's what they've done. So, I'm going to go over this, and basically Fox News, they're not the only outlet turning a blind eye to the events that conspired at a Richard Spencer rally. You'll remember that since white supremacist or nationalist Richard Spencer's October 19th speech at the University of Florida, you know, where they basically had to shell out $500,000 in taxpayers' money for security because they anticipated, of course, violence, because wherever Richard Spencer goes, violence follows, and this was no exception. Basically, there has only been one mention across the three major cable news networks, CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News, that 3 of Spencer's supporters were charged with attempted homicide for shooting at counter-protesters outside the event. NBCnews.com reported that 3 of Spencer's apparent neo-Nazi supporters, Tyler Tenbrink, William Fears, and Colton Fears, were arrested outside of Spencer's speech after one of them fired one shot which hit a nearby building after the others in the car urged him to, quote, to shoot at the protesters. NBC News also noted that the supporters, quote, displayed Nazi salutes and shouted chants about Hitler. Spencer is, quote, one of the country's most successful young white nationalist leaders, and was one of the leading forces behind the violent August 12th white supremacist and neo-Nazi rally in Charlottesville, where 32-year-old counter-protester Heather Heyer was killed. You remember when a white person ran over this poor white lady and killed her? Yeah, it was one of those terrorist acts. But anyways, I digress. Across the 3 cable networks, MSNBC's AM Joy was the only program that mentioned that the Spencer supporters were arrested after they literally fired shots at anti-fascist protesters. During the segment, ProPublica reporter A.C. Thompson noted that he had interviewed Tenbrink after his involvement in the Charlottesville rally, and that Tenbrink told Thompson, quote, I hate the leftists are evil, they're bringing degeneracy to our country, ... I'm fighting against multiculturalism, the press of multiculturalism on Western society, and I'm fighting for my children, unquote. Thompson added, fast forward to this week, he shows up in Florida at the Richard Spencer event, and according to police, opens fire on counter-protesters with a handgun, unquote. So you see, as he says he's fighting for, quote, his country and for the safety of his children, yada, 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 he decides to fire a handgun into a crowd of people, and he calls other people degenerates, and how America's going into degeneracy. Well, it is because of people like you, just like you. That's why America is going into degeneracy, because of people just like you. Terrorism perpetuated by right-wing extremists and white nationalists, also known as white identity extremists, is often undercovered in the media. When the Trump administration released a list of supposed underreported terror attacks, it neglected to include numerous instances of terror and killings by white nationalists. What a coincidence. In fact, white extremists are currently more dangerous than other extremist groups in the United States. As Foreign Policy reported in August, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security in May warned that white supremacist groups had already carried out more attacks than any other domestic extremist group over the past 16 years and were likely to carry out more attacks over the next year. And so, what's been their methodology? Media Matters searched Snapstream transcripts for CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News channel from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. from Thursday, October 19th, the day of Spencer's rally, through Saturday, October 21st, and between 6 a.m. and 12 p.m. on Sunday, October 22nd, for the terms, quote, Spencer, quote, Tenbrink, quote, fears, quote, nationalists, white nationalists, quote, white supremacists, quote, Florida, or variations of the term shoot or shot. Anyways, I don't know if that helps you or not, but basically that's how they gathered some of their data. I'm sure that's what they were referring to. Anyways, I just wanted to show you these criminal thugs right here who just decided to shoot into the crowds of, a lot of innocent people. These people are just protesting, standing up for an idea, and here they go with their degeneracy, shooting a gun, a handgun, into the crowds. These reckless criminals, they should be in jail. But they get the white privilege card. They get a slap on the wrist and, well, they're out in, 5-10 days. And then they call that good behavior. This is Guru. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace and love to you and yours. See you in the next video.